It's okay, it can't hurt you under the dam.
Oh, it can, and it will.
Does it follow you under the dam somehow?
Under the sea.
It's just a goddamn.
You made that joke.
I know. But it was so good I had to make it again.
It wasn't. It wasn't. I promise. It's just ejecting rebar at me.
Oh, now you're almost inside the dam.
Well, I have to go there. I have to make it. I can't make it. You can't make it. Chosen one, you'll never make it.
Through a truck.
No way!
Alan, you ain't got hands.
It's a very hands-on game.
If you're unsure of where to go, it's usually a good idea to run towards the light.
Rather than away from it, towards the demons.
Demons, you so cray-cray.
Why you acting so cray-cray?
Why you acting so cray-cray?
Stereo.
And remember, it's gonna throw a truck. So jump at the appropriate time.
Did you see that?
Yeah, he like jumped midair after the fact.
He jumped after he fell. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm doing a fucking jump over and over again. I love third-person platforming in games that never had it before. Oh, please. Just... You know what? I'm not gonna run at this point. I'm just gonna let my stamina build back up.
You know, for a guy who can get hit with a fucking chainsaw and survive, he really runs like a bitch.
He does, a little bit.
Like, he's all like, I'm Alan Wake, I'm out of breath.
Oh god, I thought I had to make another one.
That would have been fucking annoying.
I wouldn't have seen it coming either. It's like the Spanish Inquisition.
No one expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Ow!
He actually hit
Ow.
him. Holy shit. What is Barry doing just standing there like, huh?
The well-lit room. I think this is like the end of the chapter here, coming up. Yeah, because this chapter's the clicker, and we're about to find out about that, so the next chapter is the last one. I think the next one is a little bit shorter.
It was a foolish chance to take. Don't worry.
He's nodding. He's like, yeah, well,
Yeah,
especially for these two
a little
idiots.
bit.
After the well-lit room for many, many years now.
So, Mike, any guesses what the well-lit room is?
In the well-lit room,
A box
power is
with a light.
all the bulbs are numbered and changed regularly.
Is that the thing that she's holding? She's holding a lantern. Is that the well-lit room?
No, you're gonna find out how right you were.
Is it really a box with light?
You were almost right. It's a box with a light in it behind a vault door.
Because 6 and 33 and 118 need changing soon, and I don't want to climb up the ladder to change them because it's very late and I'm tired. And if you take it, I won't have to do that anymore.
The page was autobiographical, a memory from my childhood. But I didn't write this. It was a page written by Thomas Zane. None of them were supposed to exist anymore.
Alan, 7 years old, would fight sleep to the bitter end. When he did sleep, he soon woke up, screaming, the nightmares fresh in his mind. One evening, his mother, sitting by his bed, offered him an old light switch. She called it the clicker, and flicking the switch would turn on a magical light that would drive the beast away. To imbue the talisman with all possible power, she added that it had been given to her by Alan's father. Alan never knew him, and anything of his took on mythical proportions in his mind. With the clicker firmly in his hand, Alan finally slept like a baby. Now, almost 30 years later, Alan thought of this as he stood on the rim of Cauldron Lake, the clicker in his hand. He took a deep breath and jumped.
My mind swirled. I'd given the clicker to Alice, yet it was here. Zane had written it into existence in a story I had written.
I don't
I
understand.
can get to her now. I can finish this.
So, Alan, Alan, when he was a kid, was afraid of the dark, so someone, I think it says, Mom gave him the clicker, which is like a little imaginary light to drive away the darkness, to comfort him when he was a kid. And because his wife Alice is afraid of the dark, he gave it to her. But it was always like a symbolic thing. It wasn't like, it didn't do anything. And now, I don't care. And now, Zane wrote the clicker into this story. But here's the thing. Zane wrote about Alan's childhood. Like, way before Alan was a kid.
Hey.
His writing predates Alan's birth. So this story is a product of Thomas Zane's writing. Thomas Zane is writing about Alan Wake, who is a writer writing this story.
This is fucking stupid.
Who wrote Thomas Zane into the story to bring him to his senses after Alice was kidnapped.
Previously on Alan Wake, I wrote a horror story that
In this episode, the finale. So that is all happening. Now the question that
Now he's back in New York.
Now the question we're gonna have to reconcile by the end of this: was this a story written by Thomas Zane about Alan Wake as Zane battled the darkness? Or is this Alan Wake writing Zane into existence, who wrote Alan Wake into existence? The question is, how deep does this fucking go? Or is it just an infinite loop, like the chicken and the egg thing?
I wouldn't be surprised if it was just an infinite loop.
It is nonsensical. It breaks down at that point. It's like, you know, the whole writer bringing his writing to life and trying to and having to resolve the story by writing a fitting conclusion to his story is like, that's a common kind of cliche premise. This just takes that to absurd, ridiculous levels.
This is really not a horror story.
Also, you have to keep in mind, Thomas Zane wrote himself out of existence at some point. He wrote himself out of existence. Oh, also, do you remember that time Alan Wake was a pill popper?
Yeah, that
Not
time
until
he was,
just now.
That time he was Max Payne.
This is pretty much like the really convoluted version of Max Payne, where Max Payne is a writer. Instead, what was he, a private? No, he was a cop.
He was a
and
cop
then
who went
a PI, and then he was in 3. He was like a for hire private security guy.
No. What? All right. In the first one, he was
A cop. He was NYPD.
He was NYPD who made detective and wanted to stay detective, even though everybody wanted him to go to the undercover bureau because of his, because he just got married to a DA and had a kid.
You can't even finish that thought now. I'm turning that off. Wait a minute. Oh, once it's off, it can't go back on.
Did you watch the show?
Yeah.
Don't say anything stupid if that's what you want to know.
Remember that time he was a pill-popping asshole?
You know what?
I should have followed her advice, but suddenly I was angry, mostly at myself, and she was there.
Oh, that's the best.
Now he's gonna beat her ass, right?
Now you can't even
I
talk to me?
don't
Well, this
remember.
morning I was angry.
No, I think I would remember.
Tell me he doesn't.
I would I think I would remember if that happened.
Now I'm
I think
over
he's just an
it. Are you
asshole.
angry?
This goddamn tour. It's gotten out of hand.
Oh, honey. It's almost over, right? We can get back to normal. Then you can start writing again.
I'm sorry, honey.
Alan, you're not thinking straight. Just take a shower and go back to bed, huh?
Yeah, you're right, honey.
She's the evil one.
She's Paula.
Stay together.
She's the bride of Fleming.
Nice and quiet.
She's the old hero whose arms and legs were lopped off. It's all connected now by the Triforce.
This is really.
I would say something witty about the Link to the
Somehow,
Past sequel,
the
but
clicker was the key to the
I have no
cabinet.
opinion of
I
it.
had to return the
I'll
call
show
to
you the
Memphis
trailer
in the
later.
house.
It's not in the same the same 16-bit style. as Link to the Past. It's in like an updated
Going back to the
3D style with an isometric over the head camera, or not over the head, like a top-down camera.
Yeah.
Why can't you just
But it's
write
in
it?
like this.
The last
All the
page is still
characters
the
are
title.
rendered
I
in 3D
need to
now.
read it first. Everything needs to be just right.
Also, they've
Zane tried to
been
cut
talking about some
corners and did
mechanic
well.
where Link can
Okay,
become
ready when you are.
like a
Sorry,
drawing
Sarah, but I need to do this alone.
and go onto walls as a drawing or something, like some kind of
Mr.
Paper
Miller,
Mario
close the door
system.
when I leave.
Hold on. Love you, man. Barry, stop hugging me. Stop this. You're sweaty.
You're sweaty and out of shape.
That's not
You look
sweat.
like- you look like-
Goosh. It was the long haul.
That's the title screen thing.
It does look like it.
It's sunny. I'd flicked the switch of the clicker. Had it done this? I didn't stop to question it. I had to take advantage of the sunlight to get to the lake. On Zane's page, I'd stood on the rim of Cauldron Lake, about to use the clicker. That's where I was headed.
So why am I about to use the clicker as the question? Oh look, happy. Either that or all of these things are mobilizing to attack.
Actually, yeah.
In the daylight?
No, when it becomes night again. Which, I think when it fades back in. No,
In
it'll be
daylight,
dark soon enough.
surrounded
Oh,
by
look, you start off with things.
West landscape.
Yeah, there is a real good point to having collectibles that they put right in front of you at the start of the chapter.
To a dream, a delusion. I had enough imagination to make up something like this. Having been in the cabin all this time, trapped in a story inside my head. Gone
Story
mad from
inside
grief
his
over
head.
Alice's death, like
That's
Hartman
important.
claimed. There would be no way of knowing. I told
Remember
myself,
your
didn't
concern
really
that this might all
like
just be a
course
dream?
set.
I won't confirm or deny.
Like you denied the last time.
Did I deny that already?
I think you may have.
Fuck. Well, we can still believe that it's just that stupid.
Or I can show you.
Or I can show you how it's worse.
Because this isn't a dream. He's not
Um,
asleep. He's
The
awake.
problem with this is
He's awake.
the problem with the ending of this is that it has one of those really loose, slippery, nebulous endings that ends with a single phrase that is supposed to make you think, wow, that's really clever and profound, and it changes the whole meaning of everything, and it makes it all make sense in this weird way once you interpret it enough. Like Bioshock Infinite's ending with the constants and the variables and shit. But just like Bioshock Infinite's ending, it doesn't actually resolve anything. It's just a weird get out of jail free card phrase.
Did you finally beat Bioshock Infinite?
I beat that like a week and a half ago.
Oh, you didn't say anything.
It's really good. There
Up
are
until the
things-
ending, apparently.
I don't hate the ending, but it does. It's
It's-
weak. It's a little weak.
It's disposable.
It's not disposable at all. It's real. Like it's. You can think about it all you want, but it's one of those endings that's never gonna make sense.
Hey, why
And
aren't
that's
you driving?
That's a shame. Have there been cars? No.
Maybe you could have gotten back in the car. Why would
I'm
they make
sure
this
I
entire...
could have. I thought I remember doing this the first time I played through this game.
It just gives us more time to chatter.
No, I really love Bioshock Infinite. There were a bunch of times I found it hard to suspend disbelief for the things that were happening, like the crazy ghost mom boss fight. But for the most part, I liked it. The ending, because here's the thing: it's like it's one of those time travel / parallel dimension games or stories, I should say. And none of them ever make any sense, and everyone always gives the same excuse. Well, you can't expect it to make sense. Then don't fucking write a story like that!
See if you can steal that car. That would probably be
Oh,
useful.
I should. I probably can. It looks available. Oh, yeah.
You probably could
It's
have
like,
gotten back.
why write a story that you know from the onset is not going to wind up being able to make sense? Like, you could just not write that story. Like, the themes and everything they dealt with in the game didn't need that story surrounding them. They didn't need that plot.
Yeah.
I still think there's a lot of cool stuff about it. I think there's a lot of cool ways you can interpret it. It's just, it's never going to make sense completely. and I'm done spoiling Bioshock Infinite.
Well,
at this
I don't know.
point.
I'm just tired of games where it's like, oh,
We should play Bioshock Infinite at some point.
I don't like. What you mean as a let's play?
Yeah,
Maybe a little.
because it's really interesting.
Maybe after it's done being new.
No, we should play it, like, I don't know, sometime this year.
There had to be an accident.
No,
Touched me. There was a link
so
between
you're
us.
playing something
I could
next,
feel its
and then I'm
presence
playing
again.
Maniac Mansion, and then I don't know. You're playing. We have this back and forth where we alternate playing things. I think the game I want to do after Maniac Mansion is gonna be Bioshock Infinite, because there's a lot to talk about. It's an interesting game. It's just I have my issues with the ending. It's not like horribly offensive like the Mass Effect 3 ending though. It's not like literal Deus Ex Machina happening.
I don't know. That still didn't bother me.
What, the
Oh.
Deus Ex Machina ending
No.
of Mass Effect 3?
Yeah, I mean, Deus Ex had an ending like that.
It had a Deus Ex ending, not a Deus Ex Machina.
No, but there was something I wanted to say. Because you keep saying, can you really not suspend your disbelief for this, or it's not so much that I can't suspend my disbelief for this. It's can I suspend my disbelief for this game world, like because
Yeah, you have to be like absorbed into the world.
yeah, and this is
That's the
supposed
whole
to
like idea behind immersion.
this is supposed to be like a realistic, like a takes place in kind of realistic, you know,
with like this horror fantasy
Yeah.
twist, like
Yeah.
this magical realism thing.
So when I see certain things that don't exist or serve a practical purpose in real life, it's just kind of
The problem is
Why?
that there are things that don't follow the game's own internal logic. And that's something I think I was complaining about that recently with maybe it was with BioShock. It's that it has to establish its own set of rules and stick to them in order for you to suspend disbelief.
yeah.
I was talking about that with BioShock because of the whole like supernatural bend to it. That
Yeah.
just kind of doesn't really add up. Like the whole thing with Emily and the rifts. I said I wasn't gonna spoil Infinite. Oh well, whatever. So there are times when it doesn't follow its like the rules that it establishes for its world. It's not consistent with its own internal logic. And
Yeah.
that you can't I can't suspend disbelief for that. You can introduce like high fantasy world of Lord of the Rings or whatever and magic and spells and whatever. I'm fine with that. I can suspend disbelief through that and be like totally invested in this world where magical things happen as long as they aren't breaking their own rules and shit.
Yeah.
Like if you set out and you say, you can cast this spell but only under these circumstances, and then you break that circumstance and in the process create a plot hole, you're like, okay, so they can just break the rules whenever and nothing that they've told me matters.
like Dragonball Z, what with all the millions of Super Saiyans?
Yeah. Like when Dragon Ball Z tells you it's so rare to have a Super Saiyan, it's like it's like once every 2,000 years or something, and it's like, oh, everyone in this family and everyone who is vaguely related to them, and probably probably their friends and neighbors too, or they're all Super Saiyans
For the
Like,
next 1,000 generations.
Yeah. The Joneses next door, they got really pissed off doing their taxes. They just became Super Saiyans.
Eh. Well, no, but that's actually one of the things. Like, generation. Hold on. All right, so you have. Okay. All right, so let's start with Goku being Generation 0. He's a Super Saiyan. Gohan and his children, Generation 1, Super Saiyan. Pan, Generation 2, all of them. I'm pretty sure Pan at one time goes Super Saiyan in GT.
No, I don't. I think she's the only one who doesn't. I haven't watched all of it.
Her unknown child. Well, all right, fine. Then let's
Is
just.
Pan a granddaughter or a niece?
She's the granddaughter of Goku. She's Gohan's son. Yeah, with
or
Videl.
daughter. I mean.
Yeah. That thing. Okay, so then you have Pan. You know,
Yeah.
that's generation. Wait, what am I on? That's 2. then
Generation 2.
you have Pan's
Go on
children.
Gen 1, Pan.
Yeah,
2.
Goku's Gen 0. Then you have Gen 1, Gen 2. Then you have Pan's children, Gen 3. Now you're all the way out to Gen 4, Goku Jr. That's what they named this thing in GT. And this is
What?
yeah.
Okay, this is why
his-
I fucking don't ever want to watch it.
No, you don't. But there's like I what is that? Great grandchild? Or great grandchild?
Yeah.
Alright, so you got your great grandchild. 4 generations later, he's a Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
He's probably
Forever
got
and ever.
Yeah. So you got
a whole line of them.
Yeah. And you know, the farther along, the more human you are, apparently, the more capable you are of becoming a Super Saiyan at a young age.
It doesn't make any sense, though. That's the problem.
That's what.
I mean, like, aside from just the general awfulness that is Dragon Ball Z, like, none of it tries at any point to make sense. I should deal with this first.
Yeah. It breaks its. I'd say after the Frieza saga, it starts to break its own rules.
I mean, that Dragon Ball Z really should have ended after Earth. Like, after Vegeta and, what's his name, Nappa.
I would have been fine. I would have been fine with it going as far as the Cell saga, and been like, okay, I'm content with this.
If it ended after Frieza, I would have been like, this didn't need to be this long, but it was okay. It's like, any point after that, though, fuck that. Like, because it gets to the point where everyone's just so powerful, it doesn't make any sense anymore. Like, everyone can just destroy a planet by sneezing. That, and, like, they also approached it in a really lazy way, where they're like, okay, so since they're this fast, we don't have to animate everything.
Yeah, I know.
We can just, like... Did you notice how often they reused the same, like, 10-second frames of quick punching?
Yeah.
Like, constantly, every fight? And then, whenever people were moving around, it was just, like, 4 or 5 lines?
Yeah. A quick blur and you're good.
Yeah. And it's like, other shows of that genre of anime have tackled, like, the super overpowered characters, like, the planet-destroying powerful characters, in a way more interesting way. Like, I hate Bleach, and I rag on Bleach all the time, but they handle that by putting it in, like, this compressed, dilated time period.
Yeah, but to be
where,
fair...
like, 3 seconds takes place, 3-second period takes place over an episode.
Yeah.
And they acknowledge that.
Yeah, but have you also noticed with Bleach that, you know, the characters get less powerful as time goes on? Like, it's almost like Ichigo will eventually... It seems that way.
No, they get, like, retarded power-ups.
Okay, so he fucking
Like,
gets his little what-the-fucks to call
the
mask.
main villain of the main arc, before they said, okay, we don't actually have to end Bleach here because it's a cash cow.
Yeah.
Aizen.
Yeah.
Do you know what his power is?
It's...
And anytime anyone looks at his sword, they instantly become hypnotized.
Yeah.
And it is all-powerful.
Yeah, but
Like, there are no limits to that. And they found a way to just flat out, like, overpower Ichigo to the point where he's like, no, I can actually ignore this because powerful. That was how it ended.
I know.
And then it's like, that was supposed to be the end of the Bleach manga. And then it's like... like, the idea of it was that Ichigo had to sacrifice his ability to be a Soul Reaper in order to be powerful enough to beat Aizen in that one moment. And then that happens, and then it's like the next issue is supposed to be like the sad, everyone's going their separate ways issue, and everything ends happily ever after. And then it's like it ends with someone approaching him and going, hey, we know a way where you can be a Soul Reaper again. How do you like that shit?
Wait a minute, but see,
and
that's...
then it's been going for like hundreds of issues since then. That's when I stopped reading Bleach.
That doesn't make sense to me, though, because he's already, he already used his one-time re-become a Soul Reaper ability. Because he lost
became
status.
a Soul Reaper because of
what?
Rukia giving him her powers when she was she injured or something?
Yeah, and then lost it when her brother went apeshit and broke
No, he didn't. He didn't. Oh God, that did happen.
Yeah. See.
No, I don't think he. No, I remember what that was. It was some stupid ass explanation where what's his name? Captain. What was his name? What's Rukia's brother's name?
I don't remember.
where
Bleach
he
is
cuts
something-
him and he's like, I severed your ability to use your soul, soul power or whatever it was.
Yeah, but
It was your power level, basically.
Yeah, but what it
And
really
it's
was
his whole-
Rukia's.
Yeah,
or
his
something.
whole training thing was him getting that power back. He didn't lose his ability to be a Soul Reaper. It's still stupid and all, but I'm splitting hairs.